What if I told you that the vegetable most kids hate contains a compound so powerful it can actually force cancer cells to self-destruct? Hey, health warriors, PureNutrition here, and that's just one of the mind-blowing discoveries we're covering today. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button, because the information in this video could literally save your life or someone you love. 3 years ago, my aunt was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. Her oncologist gave her something unexpected along with her treatment plan, a list of specific vegetables. Today, she's cancer-free, and her doctor attributes her remarkable recovery partly to these 5 superfoods we're covering today. This isn't just another Eat Your Veggies lecture. This is about specific compounds that target cancer cells in ways that have stunned researchers. While most health videos just scratch the surface, we're going deep on exactly how these vegetables work, the precise amounts you should eat, and the specific ways to prepare them that multiply their cancer-fighting effects. Some of these preparation tricks increased anti-cancer compounds by up to 400% in lab studies, yet most people are cooking these vegetables all wrong. According to the American Cancer Society, 40% of us will face a cancer diagnosis in our lifetime. But here's what they don't emphasize enough. Up to 1/3 of the most common cancers could be prevented through diet alone. What you put on your plate today could literally save your life tomorrow. Cancer doesn't happen overnight. It develops through stages: initiation, promotion, and progression. The remarkable thing about these 5 vegetables? They contain compounds that fight cancer at every single stage, creating multiple layers of protection that no medication can provide. Stay with me until the end, because I'm sharing 3 delicious recipes that combine these superfoods for maximum protection, plus a shocking truth about supplements that the industry doesn't want you to know. Let's dive in. Before revealing our top 5, you need to understand what makes them special. Most vegetables are healthy, but these 5 contain specific compounds that directly interfere with cancer development. Scientists have mapped exactly how they work, and the results are stunning. Think of these 5 vegetables as your personal cancer defense system. Most impressive? When combined strategically, their protective effects multiply through what scientists call food synergy, creating protection greater than the sum of their parts. 1. Broccoli, nature's chemotherapy. That tree-shaped vegetable on your plate? It's secretly one of the most powerful cancer fighters on the planet. Broccoli contains sulforaphane, a compound so effective that researchers at Johns Hopkins University found it could selectively kill cancer stem cells, the most dangerous cells that even chemotherapy can't always touch. Here's what's crazy. When you chop broccoli, you start a chemical reaction that creates sulforaphane. In lab studies, this compound literally forced cancer cells to self-destruct while leaving healthy cells completely untouched. Look at this time-lapse footage from a 2019 study showing colon cancer cells literally dying when exposed to sulforaphane extract. A landmark study tracking 35,000 people found that men eating just 3 servings of broccoli weekly reduced their bladder cancer risk by 49%. For women, regular consumption was linked to 40% lower breast cancer rates. The protection spans multiple cancer types: colon, prostate, lung, and even certain leukemias. Here's where most people go wrong. If you're boiling broccoli or tossing it straight into your stir-fry, you're destroying up to 90% of the sulforaphane. The enzyme that creates it gets deactivated by heat before it can work its magic. The solution? Chop your broccoli at least 40 minutes before cooking. This simple timing trick increases cancer-fighting compounds by up to 400%. Or try my hack and hold method. Chop, wait, then briefly steam for just 3-4 minutes max. Don't like broccoli? I've got you covered. Broccoli sprouts contain up to 100 times more sulforaphane than the mature vegetable. A small handful delivers more cancer protection than a plateful of mature broccoli. I'll show you how to grow these at home in minutes later. 2. Tomatoes, the prostate protector. Those red orbs in your salad are working overtime to keep you healthy. Tomatoes get their vibrant color from lycopene, an antioxidant that specifically accumulates in prostate tissue, creating a shield against DNA damage. Here's what makes lycopene fascinating. Unlike most nutrients that diminish with cooking, heat actually transforms lycopene into a more powerful form. This molecular transformation increases absorption by up to 40%. That's why tomato sauce provides more cancer protection than raw tomatoes. The Harvard Health Professionals follow-up study tracked 47,365 men for 8 years and found something remarkable. Those eating tomato sauce just twice weekly had a 23% lower risk of prostate cancer compared to men who rarely ate tomatoes. For aggressive tumors, the protection jumped to 35%. The protection isn't limited to men. A study in the Journal of the National Cancer Institute found that women with the highest lycopene levels had 30% lower risk of cervical dysplasia, a precursor to cervical cancer. Here's the key. Lycopene is fat-soluble, meaning your body can't absorb it without fat. That olive oil you're cooking with isn't just for flavor, it's your absorption insurance. For maximum benefit, slow roast tomatoes with olive oil until they caramelize, concentrating both flavor and cancer protection. Small tomatoes pack more power. Cherry and grape varieties contain up to 3 times more lycopene per ounce than larger varieties. And here's a shopping tip. Look for deep red tomatoes. The deeper the color, the higher the lycopene content. 3. Spinach, the DNA guardian. Popeye was onto something, but not just for muscle power. Spinach is a nutritional powerhouse containing a unique portfolio of compounds that protect your DNA from cancer-causing damage. The standout is folate, a B vitamin that's essential for proper DNA synthesis and repair. When your cells divide, they need folate to make perfect copies of your DNA. Without enough, mistakes happen, the kind that can lead to cancer. A 14-year study following 49,654 men found that those consuming the most folate had a 42% lower risk of colorectal cancer. For women, the Nurses' Health Study found that high folate diets reduced colon cancer risk by 33%. What makes spinach special compared to other folate sources? It contains additional protective compounds like lutein, zeaxanthin, and chlorophyll that work synergistically. Chlorophyll actually binds to carcinogenic compounds from grilled meat, blocking their absorption. This is why pairing spinach with your barbecue isn't just healthy, it's strategic cancer defense. Here's a preparation secret. Light cooking breaks down oxalic acid in spinach, which otherwise blocks calcium and iron absorption. But excessive heat destroys folate. The sweet spot? Quick wilting spinach for just 1-2 minutes preserves 90% of folate while reducing oxalic acid by half. The freshness countdown is critical for spinach. It loses up to 50% of its folate within a week of harvest. Those slightly wilted leaves in your fridge? They've already lost significant cancer-fighting potential. The solution? Buy smaller amounts more frequently or try growing your own, even in a small pot on your windowsill. 4. Brussels sprouts, the detox activator. The vegetable most people love to hate is actually a potent cancer fighter. Brussels sprouts contain glucosinolates, compounds that trigger your body's detoxification systems to neutralize carcinogens before they can damage your cells. When you chop or chew Brussels sprouts, these glucosinolates convert to isothiocyanates, the active compounds that boost your liver's detox capacity by up to 50%. They actually flip the switch on genes that control your body's natural detoxification systems. A fascinating study in the Netherlands found that men consuming Brussels sprouts daily for just 3 weeks showed a 28% decrease in DNA damage, This is remarkable because DNA damage is a critical early step in cancer development. What's more, a large-scale European study found that people who ate the most cruciferous vegetables had a 32% lower risk of lung cancer, even after accounting for smoking. Let's address the elephant in the room. Many people avoid Brussels sprouts because of their bitter taste and distinctive smell. The bitter compounds are actually the same ones that fight cancer, but there's a culinary solution. Roasting Brussels sprouts with a touch of maple syrup triggers caramelization that counterbalances bitterness while preserving the cancer-fighting compounds. Cutting Brussels sprouts in half before cooking increases the surface area exposed to heat, developing deeper flavor while preserving more nutrients than boiling. Finish with a splash of balsamic vinegar during the last few minutes of roasting. The acidity balances flavor while actually enhancing absorption of certain phytonutrients. Size matters with Brussels sprouts. Smaller ones contain higher concentrations of glucosinolates. And seasonal timing is key. Brussels sprouts harvested after frost contain up to 40% more cancer-fighting compounds as the plant produces them in response to stress. 5. Carrots, the unsung cancer fighter. Carrots are often overlooked in cancer prevention, but they contain unique compounds that deserve special attention. Beyond the well-known beta-carotene, carrots provide falcarinol and falcarindiol, polyacetylenes that have demonstrated powerful anti-cancer effects. These compounds are particularly interesting because they're part of the carrot's natural defense system against fungal infections. When we consume them, they provide similar protection to our cells. A study from the University of Newcastle found that these polyacetylenes inhibited the growth of colon cancer cells by up to 25% in laboratory studies. What's fascinating about carrots is their effect on communication between cancer cells. Compounds in carrots appear to interrupt the signaling pathways that allow cancer cells to coordinate their growth and spread. A large review in the European Journal of Nutrition found that people with the highest carrot intake had a 21% lower risk of lung cancer compared to those who rarely ate carrots. Cooking creates a trade-off with carrots. Heat increases the bioavailability of beta-carotene by breaking down cellular walls, but decreases the falcarinol content. The optimal strategy? Include both raw and cooked carrots in your diet. For maximum retention of the cancer-fighting polyacetylenes, cook carrots whole, then cut them afterward. This simple change preserves up to 25% more of these valuable compounds. Don't limit yourself to orange varieties. Purple carrots contain additional anthocyanins with potent anti-inflammatory properties, while yellow carrots provide lutein that's particularly protective against lung cancer. This rainbow approach ensures you're getting the full spectrum of protection. An important warning: while food sources of beta-carotene consistently show cancer-protective effects, high-dose beta-carotene supplements have actually increased lung cancer risk in smokers in clinical trials. This highlights a crucial nutrition principle. Whole foods provide complex interactions that isolated supplements cannot replicate. The way you prepare your vegetables can literally double, or halve, their cancer-fighting potential. Most cooking advice focuses on taste, but I'm going to show you how to maximize the medicine in your food. Traditional cooking methods often destroy the very compounds that make these vegetables special. Boiling broccoli for just 5 minutes can leach up to 80% of its cancer-fighting compounds into the cooking water. Excessive heat destroys the enzymes that create sulforaphane in cruciferous vegetables, while prolonged storage depletes folate in leafy greens. Let's transform your kitchen into a cancer-fighting laboratory with a few simple upgrades. Ceramic knives cause less oxidative damage than metal ones when cutting delicate vegetables, preserving more nutrients. A dedicated steamer basket allows you to cook vegetables without submerging them in water, minimizing nutrient loss. And for those who enjoy smoothies, A low-speed masticating juicer generates less heat through friction, preserving heat-sensitive compounds better than high-speed blenders. Temperature and timing are critical variables in preserving cancer-fighting compounds. For broccoli and Brussels sprouts, the sweet spot is 3 to 4 minutes of steaming, long enough to make them tender crisp, but short enough to preserve their active enzymes. For spinach, quick wilting for just 60–90 seconds preserves folate while reducing oxalic acid. Tomatoes benefit from longer, slower cooking to maximize lycopene transformation, ideally 15–20 minutes at medium heat with olive oil. Let's talk about flavor enhancers that double as medicine. Certain spices and herbs don't just make vegetables taste better, they actually enhance their cancer-fighting properties. Turmeric contains curcumin, which has demonstrated remarkable anti-cancer effects in numerous studies. But there's a crucial trick. Always pair turmeric with black pepper, as the piperine in pepper enhances curcumin absorption by up to the incredible level of 2,000%. Garlic is another kitchen medicine chest, containing allicin, which has been shown to suppress cancer cell proliferation. For maximum benefit, crush or chop garlic and let it sit for 10 minutes before heating to activate the enzyme that produces allicin. This simple timing trick multiplies its protective effects. Ginger contains gingerols and shogals that have shown specific activity against gastrointestinal cancers. Fresh ginger has the highest concentration of these compounds, particularly when added toward the end of cooking to preserve its volatile oils. Common preparation mistakes rob your vegetables of their healing potential. Cutting vegetables into small pieces and then washing them causes water-soluble nutrients to leach out. Instead, wash whole vegetables first, then cut them. Soaking vegetables for extended periods leads to significant nutrient loss, particularly of water-soluble vitamins like C and B complex. And discarding the cooking water from vegetables means you're pouring valuable nutrients down the drain. Save this nutrient-rich liquid for soups, stews, or cooking grains. The freshness timeline is another critical factor most people overlook. Spinach loses up to 50% of its folate after just 4 days in your refrigerator. Broccoli's enzyme activity drops by about 10% per day at room temperature. The vibrant color of your vegetables isn't just about appearance. It directly correlates with their phytochemical content. As colors fade, so do benefits, which is why regular, smaller purchases often provide more protection than bulk buying. The real magic happens when you combine these cancer-fighting vegetables strategically. Research reveals that certain pairings create synergistic effects, where the combined impact exceeds what either food could achieve alone. This concept, called food synergy, is where nutrition becomes greater than the sum of its parts. A groundbreaking study from the University of Illinois found that the combination of tomatoes and broccoli was more effective at slowing prostate tumor growth than either vegetable alone, or even than taking individual supplements of lycopene and sulforaphane. The whole food matrix creates interactions impossible to replicate in supplement form. I've designed 3 power-packed recipes that strategically combine our 5 cancer-fighting vegetables. These aren't just nutritious. They're specifically engineered to maximize absorption and efficacy of their protective compounds. My cellular shield salad combines raw broccoli and cherry tomatoes with a critical timing trick. Chop the broccoli 40 minutes before assembling the salad to maximize sulforaphane formation. The olive oil in the dressing enhances absorption of fat-soluble lycopene from the tomatoes, while a splash of lemon juice preserves the vitamin C content and brightens flavors. Adding a small amount of chopped walnuts provides ALA omega-3 fatty acids that have shown specific protective effects against hormone-sensitive cancers. If you have nut allergies, substitute pumpkin seeds, which provide similar healthy fats plus additional zinc, a mineral important for immune function. For those who find raw broccoli too intense, try blanching it very briefly. Just 30 seconds in boiling water followed by an ice bath, which preserves most nutrients while softening the texture. My Detox Power Soup transforms Brussels sprouts into a crave-worthy experience while delivering serious cancer protection. The key is caramelizing the vegetables before adding liquid, which develops deep flavor while preserving nutrients. The combination of Brussels sprouts and carrots provides complementary protective compounds that work through different mechanisms for comprehensive protection. The secret flavor-balancing ingredient is a touch of maple syrup and apple cider vinegar added midway through cooking, which counteracts bitterness while preserving the cancer-fighting glucosinolates. You can adapt this soup seasonally. Add butternut squash in fall for additional carotenoids or fresh peas in spring for extra folate. For busy mornings, my revitalizing green smoothie delivers multiple cancer-fighting compounds in a convenient, delicious package. The combination of spinach with vitamin C-rich pineapple enhances iron absorption, while adding ground flaxseed provides lignans with documented anti-cancer properties. A small piece of fresh ginger adds both flavor and additional protective compounds. This smoothie is easily adaptable to dietary needs. Substitute avocado for banana for a lower sugar option that adds healthy fats. Add hemp seeds for complete protein without altering the flavor profile. The beauty of this smoothie is how it can evolve seasonally. Substitute whatever vitamin C-rich fruit is fresh and local, from strawberries in spring to citrus in winter. The most powerful strategy is incorporating these vegetables throughout your weekly routine. I've created a simple 7-day cancer-fighting meal plan that ensures you're getting optimal amounts of each vegetable in varied, delicious preparations. This isn't about restriction. It's about strategically adding protection to meals you already enjoy. Monday starts with a spinach smoothie. Tuesday incorporates grated carrots into overnight oats. Wednesday features a broccoli pesto pasta where the fat in the pesto enhances sulforaphane absorption. By the end of the week, you've consumed optimal amounts of all 5 cancer-fighting vegetables without ever feeling deprived or bored. The science supporting these vegetables is compelling, but real-life stories bring the research to life. Let me share how these foods are transforming real people's health. Sarah, a 45-year-old marketing executive with a strong family history of breast cancer, decided to take a proactive approach after her sister's diagnosis. She incorporated at least 2 servings of our 5 cancer-fighting vegetables daily. Within 6 months, her routine blood work showed remarkable improvements. Inflammatory markers decreased by 30%, and oxidative stress markers showed significant improvement. Most telling was her oncologist's reaction at her preventive screening. "Whatever you're doing, keep it up. These are the best markers I've seen all year." Michael's story is even more dramatic. At 62, he'd already survived colon cancer once when his doctor found new polyps during a follow-up colonoscopy. Working with an oncological nutritionist, he developed a diet centered around cruciferous vegetables and other protective foods. "I was skeptical at first," he admits, especially about Brussels sprouts, which I'd hated since childhood. But using the preparation methods we've discussed, he found ways to actually enjoy them. After 18 months of consistent dietary changes, his follow-up colonoscopy showed no new polyps, a result his doctor called remarkably positive. These personal experiences align perfectly with large-scale research. The European Prospective Investigation into Cancer and Nutrition, EPIC study, following over 500,000 participants across 10 European countries, provides our strongest evidence. After 15-plus years of follow-up, researchers found that those consuming at least 5 servings of vegetables and fruits daily had a 15–20% lower risk of all cancers combined, with particularly strong protection against digestive system cancers. What's particularly striking about the EPIC results is that cruciferous vegetables demonstrated the strongest inverse associations with cancer risk, confirming our focus on broccoli and Brussels sprouts as protective powerhouses. A groundbreaking 2022 study published in Cancer Prevention Research unveiled new mechanisms behind these benefits. researchers discovered that sulforaphane from broccoli specifically targets and suppresses a protein called STAT3, which plays a critical role in cancer cell survival and proliferation. This mechanism helps explain why regular consumption of cruciferous vegetables shows such consistent benefits in population studies. Dr. Elena Martinez, an oncological nutritionist who works specifically with cancer patients and high-risk individuals, emphasizes that consistency matters more than perfection. What I tell my patients is that small, sustainable changes accumulated over time make the biggest difference. Adding just one additional serving of these cancer-fighting vegetables daily can have measurable impacts on biomarkers associated with cancer risk. She also highlights an important point about timing. These vegetables show benefits at every stage, from prevention to supporting conventional treatment to reducing recurrence risk. It's never too early or too late to start incorporating them. Dr. Robert Chen, who specializes in integrative oncology, explains what makes these particular vegetables so valuable. Most pharmaceutical interventions target a single pathway. What's remarkable about these plant compounds is that they work through multiple mechanisms simultaneously. They inhibit angiogenesis, the formation of blood vessels that feed tumors, promote apoptosis, programmed cell death of damaged cells, and enhance detoxification pathways. This multi-pronged approach creates comprehensive protection that no single drug can match. Before implementing these powerful strategies, we need to address some critical misconceptions and important considerations for specific groups. First, let's clear up the most dangerous misconception, that certain superfoods can replace conventional medical treatment for cancer. The vegetables we've discussed are powerful tools for prevention and supporting overall health, but they aren't cures or treatments in themselves. They work best as part of a comprehensive approach that includes appropriate medical care. Early detection and proper treatment remain essential. Another common misconception is the more is better approach. While these vegetables are beneficial, consuming excessive amounts won't necessarily provide additional protection and could potentially cause issues for some people. The dose-response relationship isn't linear, meaning twice the amount doesn't equal twice the benefit. Balance and variety remain key principles. The supplement versus whole food question demands clarity. Many people ask if concentrated broccoli extract or lycopene supplements would provide the same benefits as eating the whole vegetables. Research consistently shows whole foods outperform isolated nutrients. The beta-carotene studies I mentioned earlier provide a sobering example. High-dose supplements actually increased cancer risk in smokers, while food sources showed protective effects. This striking difference highlights how the complex matrix of compounds in whole foods creates balanced, beneficial effects that isolated nutrients cannot replicate. The organic versus conventional question deserves a nuanced answer. A comprehensive meta-analysis published in the British Journal of Nutrition found that organic vegetables contain, on average, 20 to 40% higher concentrations of antioxidants and polyphenols compared to conventional counterparts. These are precisely the compounds associated with cancer prevention. The pesticide question is equally important. Conventional farming typically uses synthetic pesticides, some linked to hormonal disruption and potential carcinogenic effects. A 2020 study in environmental research found that participants who switched from conventional to organic produce for just 1 week showed a 70% reduction in detectable pesticide metabolites in their urine. If organic options aren't available or affordable, proper washing becomes crucial. Research from the University of Massachusetts found that soaking vegetables for 15 minutes in a solution of water and baking soda, 1 teaspoon per 2 cups of water, removed up to 96% of surface pesticides, significantly more effective than water alone or commercial vegetable washes. Now for important considerations for specific groups. If you're taking blood-thinning medications like warfarin, The high vitamin K content in vegetables like spinach and Brussels sprouts could potentially interfere with your medication. This doesn't mean avoiding these vegetables. Rather, maintain consistent intake and work with your healthcare provider to adjust medication accordingly. People with thyroid issues should be aware that raw, cruciferous vegetables contain goitrogens, which can interfere with thyroid function when consumed in very large amounts. Cooking reduces this effect, and moderate consumption is considered safe and beneficial for most people with thyroid conditions. But consult your healthcare provider with concerns. Those with kidney stones or certain oxalate-related conditions may need to moderate spinach intake due to its oxalate content. Again, this doesn't mean elimination, just mindful consumption based on individual health needs. For pregnant women, these vegetables offer tremendous benefits, particularly the folate in spinach for preventing neural tube defects. However, special attention to washing is crucial to minimize pesticide exposure. Older adults, who often experience decreased nutrient absorption, can benefit from chopping vegetables more finely or lightly, cooking them to enhance digestibility while preserving nutrients. The quality of your vegetables dramatically impacts their cancer-fighting potential. Let's explore how to source the most nutritionally potent produce possible. Freshness indicators vary by vegetable type. For leafy greens like spinach, look for crisp, vibrant leaves without wilting or yellowing. For broccoli, the florets should be tight and dark green without yellowing, and the stem should feel firm. Tomatoes should feel heavy for their size with taut skin and rich color. Brussels sprouts should be bright green and feel dense when gently squeezed. Carrots should be firm and bright in color without cracks. Seasonal purchasing ensures better flavor, higher nutrient content, and often lower cost. Broccoli and Brussels sprouts peak during fall and winter months, with Brussels sprouts actually developing sweeter flavor and higher beneficial compounds after exposure to frost. Spinach thrives in spring and fall, offering peak nutrition during these seasons. Tomatoes reach their prime in summer when their lycopene content is highest. Carrots are available year-round, but develop their sweetest flavor and highest phytonutrient content in fall and winter. Technology has transformed how we can trace and verify our food sources. Several smartphone apps can help you make informed choices at the grocery store or farmer's market. HarvestMark allows you to scan QR codes on participating produce to see exactly where it was grown and when it was harvested. The Non-GMO Project app identifies products verified as non-GMO. The EWG's Dirty Dozen Clean 15 app is updated annually and helps prioritize which vegetables are most important to buy organic based on pesticide residue testing. Local Harvest helps find farmers markets, CSAs, and farm stands in your area. Growing your own vegetables, even in limited space, provides the freshest possible produce with maximum nutrient content. Even in apartments, vegetables like spinach and cherry tomatoes thrive in containers on balconies or windowsills. Carrots grow well in deeper pots, while microgreens, including broccoli sprouts, can be grown indoors year-round with minimal equipment. Let me share a simple method for growing broccoli sprouts, one of the most concentrated sources of sulforaphane available. Start with 2 tablespoons of broccoli seeds, available online or at health food stores. Rinse them and place in a wide-mouth jar covered with cheesecloth or a sprouting lid. Soak overnight in water, then drain. Rinse and drain twice daily, keeping the jar at a slight angle to allow airflow. Within 3 to 5 days, you'll have nutrient-packed sprouts ready to add to sandwiches, salads, or smoothies. 1 jar provides about a week's worth of cancer-fighting nutrition for 1 person. Proper storage is equally important for preserving cancer-fighting compounds. Most vegetables store best in the refrigerator's crisper drawer with controlled humidity. Tomatoes are the exception, stored at room temperature until fully ripe to maintain flavor and nutrient content. The ethylene gas produced by some fruits can accelerate deterioration of certain vegetables, so keep apples, bananas, and pears separate from your cruciferous vegetables. We've explored the remarkable cancer-fighting potential of 5 everyday vegetables, each working through different mechanisms to create comprehensive protection against cancer development. From broccoli's sulforaphane that activates detoxification pathways, to tomatoes' lycopene that shields cells from oxidative damage. From spinach's folate that ensures proper DNA synthesis, to Brussels sprouts' isothiocyanates that trigger cancer cell death, and carrot's unique combination of beta-carotene and falcarinol compounds, these ordinary vegetables contain extraordinary medicine. The most important takeaway is that small, consistent changes to your diet can have profound effects on your long-term health. Adding even one additional serving of these vegetables to your daily routine starts shifting your internal environment toward one that's less hospitable to cancer development. I invite you to start with a simple, practical approach. Add just one of these vegetables to your meals 3 times this week. Choose whichever one appeals to you most. Remember, the healthiest food is the one you'll actually eat consistently. Next week, incorporate a second vegetable from our list. By the end of the month, aim to have all 5 regularly appearing in your meal rotation. To support your journey, I've created a downloadable tracking tool available through the link in the description. This simple calendar helps you record your vegetable intake and note improvements in energy, digestion, or overall well-being. Many users report enhanced energy, better digestion, and clearer skin within weeks. After 30 days, you might notice reduced inflammation. After 60 days, improved immune function. And after 90 days, these habits will feel like second nature. The tracking tool includes a symptom tracker to monitor improvements in specific health concerns as you increase your intake of these powerful vegetables. Users frequently report reduced joint pain, improved skin conditions, better sleep, and enhanced mood. All additional benefits beyond the cancer-fighting properties we've focused on today. I'd love to hear about your experiences incorporating these cancer-fighting vegetables into your diet. Drop a comment below sharing your favorite preparation method or any questions you have. Your insights might help someone else on their health journey. If this information has been valuable to you, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more evidence-based nutrition insights delivered in practical, actionable ways. Share this video with someone you care about, because knowledge about nutrition is truly one of the most powerful gifts we can give. Remember, your daily food choices are potentially the most powerful medicine you'll ever take. Every bite is an opportunity to nourish your body and build cellular resilience against cancer. Here's to your health, one delicious vegetable at a time.